What is up, ladies and gentlemen, people of the internet? Welcome to the inaugural episode of the Brick Lounge podcast presented by SC Bricks. I am joined today with my co-hosts John and Kipp. How's it
What's
going,
up,
gentlemen?
y'all?
I'm so excited.
So,
Our first episode, yes.
Our very first episode, yeah. So Brick Lounge is something that we have all been very, very excited for. The three of us are part of the SE Bricks community, and we wanted to do something that gave back to this community and the Lego community in general. You know, just talking about our shared passion, what we love. There's a lot of great plans that we have for this show. I don't want to take up all the time here, but I want to hear a little bit from John and Kipp. What does this show mean to you that we're rolling out today?
All right. Well, I will just say up front that my excitement level is at a 10 right now, and
Right?
this whole opportunity to get together and all the hard work that we put into even coming to the point where we can have an environment like this to talk about our passion is exciting. So coming in hot, and just generally, I'll say this about this podcast. It's an extension of SC Bricks and the community that we built over the last 6 years. It's a way for us to find out more about each other, to share our passion of Lego. And, as Eric said, I won't steal all the air, but there's all kinds of reasons why this podcast makes sense for us. And we think it'll be really fun for those of you who get a chance to listen to us and get to know us a little bit and can follow us as we take this podcast on the road, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm excited about it. That's kind of what, from my perspective, is how we're rolling this thing out. What about you, Kipp?
Hey, I'm pretty much going to echo you, so I'm not going to take very long at all. But I remember it was over a year ago at this point. You were talking about wanting to do a podcast. I'm like, dude, let's get one together, but we could never get it going. So then eventually, this guy Eric comes along, and is able to get our butts in gear to finally do this. So I am so thankful for Eric to finally be here to make
job,
us do
Eric.
this. And so-called herd the goats and get us going in the right direction. So yeah, I want to get to know our community, let them get to know us and what we're all about, with this SC Bricks community we got here. So that's where I'm at with it. So
Dude, well, I am honored, but you guys give me way too much credit for this. You know, at the end of the day, we are just three grown nerds talking about plastic bricks. That's what it
100%.
is.
yep.
But we do it for we do it for the community, and this is to expose everyone that we we love spending our free time with, and share passion, creativity. SE Bricks motto is build, inspire, and create, and that's one of the things we promote, not only within the SE Bricks community, but we try and promote within our daily lives as well. This podcast is intended to be an extension of that. So, for the audience listening at home, we are three grown men that play with plastic bricks as a hobby and are not afraid to tell the world about it, obviously.
Here we are.
So, we encourage, this is an interactive medium. We encourage responses from our own SE Bricks community as well as outside community members. This is a podcast for everyone. You are meant to see yourself in us. And if you do not see yourself in something we're talking about, then we're not doing it correctly. So let us know. With that said, gentlemen, I want to go into our first official topic of the show. Are we ready for this?
Drum roll, please.
Oh, I'm so ready. Yeah, this is. Hold on.
Oh, hold on.
Hold on.
Drum roll, please.
Wait.
Kipp, wait for it.
Please.
Oh, what? And the first official topic of this show is AFOL. We are all AFOLs. We are all AFOLs, but what does
is an
AFOL
AFOL?
mean? It's not a very very clumsy person that falls
foal?
all the line.
Although
that
I
is
do that a lot. I do that a lot.
That's
I
fair.
fall a lot.
That's fair. and it can be misconstrued construed with a fool, which is just one letter short of this,
Yeah. Yeah,
which
well, hold
can
on,
qualify
caveat to
to a
Kipp's
lot of this
comment.
as well.
Yeah, just have to caveat, not only does he fall with Lego in hand, so
Very
Yeah.
true.
and he's an elegant faller, by the way, Kip. I've seen some big
Pro.
mocks in your
I'm a
hands hit the
pro.
ground. You're a pro faller, so anyway.
Um, but I wanna break down AFOL for those that do not know is adult fan of Lego. It is a descriptor used to describe somebody that is an adult above the age of 18 that dives into this as a hobby, as a passion. There are other related terms such as TFOL, teen fan of Lego, so on and so forth. But we're focusing on the adult fan of Lego today, since that represents us and most of our SE Bricks community. So what does AFOL mean to you? What does AFOL mean to you guys? John, we'll start with you.
Well, I think, obviously the adult fan of Lego tag, is spells it out for you, but I think as I think about it, it's a reflection of someone's interest in a plastic brick as an adult. Like, it's literally the idea that, "Hey, I like these bricks for whatever reason," whether it's you're creative, whether it's something you do with your family or your kids, or it was something that you did when you were a kid, and now as an adult, you can, afford those things. But there's lots of reasons for adults to be fans of Legos, and there's, all kinds of cool, talking points about, the evolution of Lego, particularly with adult fans. But just generally speaking, to me, it's everybody that's an adult that likes Lego for any reason. And whether you're a collector, like me, or somebody who just builds randomly with their kids, you can be an AFOL, and it's a happy term, by the way. It's something that I kind of feel like is with Lego. It's got a little goofiness to it, even the name of it. So it makes you smile when you think about it. So that's what AFOL means to me. I'm proud to be an AFOL.
That's right.
What about
I'm
you, Kip?
proud to be an AFOL. It could be misconstrued in so many different ways if you just listen a little bit differently, just like we were just talking about. But anyway,
Yep.
I digress. I will always digress. Anyway, so yeah, to be an AFOL,
Rabbit hole.
yeah, right. Uh, as an AFOL, I've really only learned about being one, 3, 4 years ago, right after COVID. We'll get into that story later, though. But what I just personally put it towards is adult community for Lego enthusiasts. So I am one member of this adult community of Lego fans. And getting to know all these people that I didn't know existed before I dove into this hobby again. I would say it's a little more than a hobby at this point, maybe more of an addiction, but it's just about being with like-minded people and having fun with these plastic bricks and being able to show my creativity through those mediums. I mean, it's just fun.
It's the relationships you get out of building, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
So,
So it's funny because I think about, Lego itself, and they've got 18 plus, right? 18 plus builds, and that's their starting point for an AFOL. And
mhm,
so
Yeah.
from just a pure Lego perspective, you get to that 18 plus, that creator set, the icon set now. Anything that's 18 plus is geared towards us AFOLs. So that's
yep.
another kind of, line in the
You can
sand
tell
that
with the
Lego's
price
drawn.
point too.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
Which,
for
I
sure,
mean,
for sure, AFOL has a ring of "I can afford it now" to it,
Right?
you know. So
Hey, we're all
there's
big
there
kids. We're all big kids.
yep, yep,
I mean, and there's something to that. Lego, like any other company, is a company. It's a company to make money, but it is a company based on creativity and fueling that creativity. The benefits that these silly plastic bricks have on the world is astounding. We can all reference it from our own individual childhoods, as can everyone listening to this episode. There's almost nobody alive today that has not experienced Lego in some way, shape, or form. you
it's
know
true.
there's a
Very true.
very small
It's a
very small
universal
community.
language. just
It really
that one
is,
word. Yeah.
whether you went back into it as an adult or not, you at some point in your life had an experience with Lego.
You know, what's
And,
funny is I think about that exact thing. At some point, like, what's that spot where you, kind of have that first connection? And, Lego means, it's the Danish word legat, which means play well, and so that's
Mhm.
I think that whether you understand that or not, there's something in the word that makes you feel that way. It is, you know what I mean? And so for me, even from an early age, that idea of playing together, and playing well is ingrained even in the name, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, and from the AFOL perspective, that play well concept is, we've had conversations off mic about this of how do you quote unquote play with your Lego as adults. We're all fascinated with the building process and the parts and the collecting aspect, but at the end of the day, we do play. When you're creating a mock, you're creating these little vignettes and these little stories, and when you see a CMF that appeals to you and you want it for a reason. You want it because it speaks to you. It tells you a story. And you want to tell a story with it. That's just that's something that doesn't go away. It lets adults tap into their childhood imagination in a way that no other medium does. It fosters the creativity, the mathematical aspect of it. It's engineering and art and toy. It's a
Yeah, and
beautiful concept.
it
Nothing
is.
else does it that way.
And if you think about, to that point, this idea of nostalgia and this idea of plugging into, people that were growing up during, I'll start with Star Wars, right? Star Wars is probably the biggest connector of generations. And so, Lego went all in on Star Wars. That's been,
Star
and their
Wars is
That
what
didn't
ability
saved
to,
succeed.
Lego, actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you
If it
think
didn't
about
succeed,
that,
it would have killed him.
yeah, right. And so, they went in, and then, so I think that connection between, we all watched Star Wars growing up. It was a part of our lives. And as boys, or whatever, growing up, boys or girls, you played with Star Wars stuff. And so, you know, if I was a kid today, I'd be so excited about all the Star Wars stuff. As an adult, it's a little bit overwhelming. I mean, they got a lot out there, right?
There's a
It's a lot.
lot.
Yeah.
But for all
There's a lot.
ages too, there's smaller sets all the
It
way up to
is.
larger sets. So, 2 plus up to 18 plus, and then of course the 99 plus, because everyone
That's right.
should be able to play with Lego.
That's true.
Yeah, well, and you talk about that, and one of the beautiful things of the AFOL community, like John, you mentioned you're a Star Wars fan, but you don't particularly the Star Wars aspect of Lego is overwhelming because there is so much of it, and
Yeah,
it's
there is.
constantly going. It's very difficult to quote unquote keep up with, and it does foster that it's Lego Star Wars is the equivalent of Pokemon for 90s kids. You gotta catch them all, you
That's
know?
true.
You gotta co
Gotta have
you
everyone.
gotta collect all the Star Wars figures, you know? That's the closest equivalent I can think of. But at the same time, there are members of the AFOL community that exclusively collect Star Wars.
That's
Yep.
right.
That's their passion, that's their drive. There are those that
I love all those
exclusively.
I love all those sets, like, to your point, they make so many cool, all the Gungan ships, all the different scenes they make, all the different very specific CMFs that they throw into the market.
And
It's
even the
captivating,
scenes
it's
now
a
that
lot.
they're creating, they're
Yeah, the
not just doing
vignettes,
little
yeah,
vignettes, and it's
yeah.
all
Yeah,
just,
I will.
I want it all, but at the same time, I can't dive into it because there's just so much, and there's only so much I can do with the space I have.
Yeah, we're all limited. Said every let's make an addendum real quick to our official definition of AFOL is lack of space is always a concern for an
It
Yes.
is.
AFOL.
I
That
don't care
define
who
if
you
you're a
are,
person.
you will eventually need more Lego
Mm.
space. And yes, I am talking to a specific member in our group. No matter who you are, you will eventually need more space.
Listen, I will call myself out. I do not believe I'm the specific member you are referring to, but for those that don't know listening that are a part of SE Bricks and the world accordingly, I am by definition a minimalist. I do not own very much stuff. I keep my life very simple. I don't like extravagant things. I don't overspend. I own 50 articles of clothing. That's it. Not counting socks and underwear. Those are the exception because you got to have clean socks and undies.
Yeah. I can't
But
wait for this. And how many Lego sets?
exactly.
Don't ask. Just don't ask.
Like
It's
that's the
probably
thing.
still
Like
minimalist, though. I mean,
it's
let's be
compared
real.
to compared to most people in the
Yes,
community. Yeah, I do
yes.
believe I am very
You
minimalist
you
on that.
maintain a solid balance. I'll give you credit for that. Even
Yeah.
But
though
you
behind you, I
will
can see all
need
those
more
Lego.
room.
But you will need more
Yeah,
room.
disregard. But I will need more room, and that's it's a direct it's direct a constant conflict in my mind between you don't need this, but this inspires you.
Right?
You do this because it inspires you to create more. I
Mhm,
don't. We talked off mic, but there are different members of the AFOL community. There are collectors. There are um, builders who all they do is build the sets and take them apart. I've got friends that's what they do. They treat them like puzzles.
Yep.
They build them, they
mhm,
take them apart, they box them up, and if they want to build again, they'll rebuild them.
Or
mhm,
they'll just go
You
ahead and sell them or trade them into another store and get credit for something else.
exactly. They just want
mhm,
the
Yeah.
experience. You have people that only do artworks, statues,
mhm,
mosaics. They create mocks in that way. You have people that all they want to do is modify their current sets to appeal to their own nature. They don't want to create
mhm,
their own mock. They just want to slightly modify what Lego already produced. There's people that will combine architecture with Lego. You people that build bricks into the walls of houses, build
mhm.
Legos.
There's gotta
There's
be
so many
different there's
different.
gotta be if we research, there's gotta be some different, like, categories or stages of maybe we should write a book about the stages of Lego. Because
I
as I'm
feel
listening
like
to you
he's
describe
like
all
Not a
those
bad
you've
idea.
things,
already
you pretty
like
much
pointed
did
out
that. Because 'cause I'm like, "Yep,
multiple
I'm
sections
that,
of
I'm that,
mine.
I'm that."
Yes, except for the last one. I have not gotten to the last one yet.
Fair enough.
I kinda have that. What are some other characteristics? You're really defining me here. Go ahead, keep coming.
What is
I
an
mean,
AFOL? Well, we're really putting it down on in the books right
Yeah.
now.
we're breaking it down, but there's so many different aspects of this community, and that's one of the things that I personally love about it is everyone uses this medium to tell a different story, and that's the story they tell is their own. It's no one else's but theirs, and the appeal is the amount of respect that occurs within the AFOL community. That there's exceptions in every single community out there in the world, but in the AFOL and the Lego community in general, it's notoriously positive for the most part. You
Yep.
want to inspire each other. You want to see each other grow and develop. You want to share stories and get to know each other. It doesn't matter political, religious, all of that stuff is secondary towards the passion and the sharing of humanity is what it
Mm,
really comes down to.
that sounds pretty like a pretty good place there. I think I wanna be with all those people.
Right?
I think that's the other thing is, it's kinda neat when you think about it as we're talking about it, and you think about the people that are in our community, and you're really just describing the people that we've surrounded ourselves with in the lug. And for those of you who don't know, that are listening for the first time, we're gonna throw around some silly Lego acronyms. So lug is the first one, undefined, it's a Lego user group, and so we'll talk about that at some point, but essentially it's us. It's this group, this community that we built, SC Bricks, and all the different layers that this community operates at, with whether it's people that are, to your point, collectors, builders, mock builders, doing conventions. Look at us doing podcasts. We got YouTubers. It's the whole world. It's all the different flavors of creativity mixed up into, something, this plastic brick, and it's all adults doing it. It's all the ways that we can expand our own, you know, creativity from, whether it's playing with your kids and adding to that experience and making it part of your life versus, or being an adult like myself with no kids that builds and uses Lego as a opportunity to be creative, but also to, you know, start a community and have that community thrive and flourish. So AFOL gets to be a really big word. It's an all caps word, by the way. I
Right.
think that's
Yeah.
important to know. You know what I mean? It carries a lot of meaning. I think that's kind of what we're finding out as we talk about it right now, right? AFOL
Yeah.
is a
Mhm.
bigger term than just adult fan of Lego.
Yep. Yep. It absolutely is. So We're getting very deep on episode 1, gentlemen.
Uh-oh.
I know.
Uh-oh.
It's awesome.
Uh-oh.
We didn't intend to introduce you guys to the meat and potatoes of the podcast until at least episode 4 or 5, but looks like we're
Well,
there.
we dove
Looks
in
like
head
we're there
first,
now.
kinda like I did with Lego anyway. So, I mean, would we expect any different?
It's true.
So let's share a little bit about that then. Kip, you jump on a good point. Let's introduce, let's introduce ourselves and our Lego journeys in as AFOLs. Um, what kinda got us into it, I think we all 3 of us, we started as kids, but we all went through dark ages. So what brought you
We
back
start at
what
the
brought
dark
you
ages.
if you wanna start at the dark ages, you can. I don't know how long audiences are willing to listen, but we can start there.
Short version.
Super short
Um,
version.
yeah,
Take
but
1.
John, kick us off. Give us a little bit about your background in Lego.
Well, so just suffice to say, I've been playing with Lego my whole life. It was a primary child toy, and then after I went into my dark ages and high school, college, and came back into it after I got my first job and got established. And my friend bought some Star Wars sets and showed them to me, and I thought those would be fun, and it began from there. So that's been a long time since then, and so now here I am, 2024. I am a proud owner of a pretty sizable Lego collection that's got all kinds of fun and years of joy attached to it. And I think I'll always be into Lego. And to me, it's a creative outlet. It's a chance for me to, it's my palette, as I say. And I also like to collect, so it fills a lot of voids. Just generally, it's a healthy hobby. And I think the other thing is that it's given me a chance to meet guys like you and gals that are in SC Brick. So I think about my journey the last 6 years specifically, when Andrew and I started SC Bricks. Now, where I'm at and my current journey is just really enjoying the community that we've built. I mean, we're doing everything an AFOL could ever dream of. Like we've got the AFOL dream life going on around here.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. I feel lucky. I also know that it's there's a lot of people like us out there, and I just enjoy letting people know that we're all out here, and the group just continues to grow. And I think for me personally, that's where I am now. Is I'm a builder, I'm a collector, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm all the things that you can be with Lego right now, and it's fun. It adds a lot of joy and happiness to my life, and that's where I'm at. So lots of details between here and there, but that's generally the story. How about you, Kip?
You know, my story is a little bit shorter than yours because the community that you put together started a couple years before I even refound Lego and got out of my dark ages. So, but when I did come out of my dark ages, it was very quickly before I met you at the Lego store and found this community and said, "Hey,
A great
yeah,
place
there's
of
a lot
meeting.
of really cool people here." And, I just dove in head first and said, "There's no looking back." And, it's been what, almost 4 years now,
Mhm,
ish.
mhm. I think you
And
get your 4-year card coming up soon. You get your 4-year AFOL card.
and now, I'm 3 years in on hosting a Lego event for the Lego community here in Columbia, South Carolina. And
Ooh.
that's where I got to actually meet the other guy on this call with, which is Eric. So,
Yeah.
it all kind of ties together, which is what's great about this Lego community. It's what is letting all of us get to meet and know all these amazing people and what they do and how they do it. And, not necessarily
It is
even
our
just
Lego
their
story.
Lego. And it's not even all about Lego. It's getting to know them as a person in general and what they do outside of Lego. So, it's been a really great experience these last 4 years, and I can't wait to see what else it holds for us, so that's where I'm at with it.
I love it. We all end up with talking about the community after we start with ourselves. Well, I started here
Right.
and I ended up at SC Bricks.
Well, that's literally why we're doing this podcast right now is SC Bricks. But I mean, my Cliff Notes version of the Lego story is no different. I mean, I got back in. I'll tell shoot 2 short stories of when I was a child that defines my Lego time as a child. Is one, when my parents got married, there is a photo of me and the entire wedding party, and I've got my feet. I did this thing where, you like tilt your feet inwards and you stand on the outside of your feet,
Mhm.
that kinda move. When I was a kid,
Doing
I
it
would
now.
do that when I was frustrated. Yeah. And when I was a kid, I would do that when I was frustrated. So there's a picture of me in the wedding party with my feet like that and my arms crossed and just kinda, all sour faced, because all I wanted to do was go back to the hotel room and play with the freaking Forestman set that my grandpa and grandma got me right
Yes.
before the wedding. That's all
What
I
was
wanted to
wrong with
do.
them? What was wrong with
I
them?
didn't give a
Don't they
crap about what was
understand?
going on.
Why wouldn't they let you take it
You
to the
know?
wedding?
"Mom, Dad, why is this
Oh,
your day?
no. Oh,
Okay?
no,
That
John.
set.
That's mean.
Yes. Yes, that set."
I'm holding
Which is
that
why,
setup
dude,
right now.
when they remade that set, 2 years ago, I lost my freaking mind because that is the set that I wanted to go back and play with. So I
I love it.
rebought that. I could not have spent more money to get that 90th anniversary set. But and the other
That's a
set
great set.
was that's a wonderful
I
one. But the other story I have of my childhood Lego journey is building a submarine underwater in the bathtub
Ooh.
of our bathroom and using a balloon, blowing air into a balloon
What?
and building the frame around it while it's underwater so that it could rise to the surface.
What
And
color
I
was
did
it?
that
Was
with
it
my dad.
multicolored?
It was
Like
just a
multicolored?
multicolored submarine. Yeah, just
Oh,
classic
did it have a
submarine.
submarine shape? Like, that's amazing. It had a balloon in it?
Yeah, yeah, we put a long balloon inside of it, like one of the long,
A
ones you
Oh,
make
ballast
balloon
yeah.
animals
machine.
out
Like
of.
it
Yeah,
yeah, that's
to
so
create the
cool.
ballast. And, that's one of my fondest memories of me and my dad growing up. So Lego was a big part of my childhood, and, I fell out of it like most do, and I came back in, uh, shortly before the pandemic, and the pandemic just amplified everything. And
Mhm.
then, as Kip mentioned, I learned about this show that occurs in Colombia that I'd never heard of, because before that, I was like, "Well, I don't know why I'm this grown man that's just kinda starting to get back into Lego. That seems weird," you know?
You
I
were
didn't
getting
think
the
I'd be
itch.
one of I didn't think
You're
I'd be
getting the
one of
itch.
those guys, but
Right?
apparently
Yeah.
I am,
You
Hmm.
totally
you
are,
know?
Eric. I could see it in the right off the bat when I met you. I was like, "Yeah, he's totally a nerd. He's right there with me." I relate. Lego
I
nerd.
listen,
I probably could have a conversation with this guy. I'm sure we
"Hi,
can.
I'm
Here we are.
John. I play with
I've
Lego." And that's how it started.
I've never de I've never denied being a nerd my whole life. I've been a
Uh,
nerd my whole life, but
uh,
it took me a little while to acknowledge I was a Lego nerd as an adult.
I love it. Yeah,
And,
it's the best.
went by a Columbia Brick Con, and I was like, "What are these SE Bricks guys all about?" And just you 2 are 2 of the first people I met and fell in love, and here we are,
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kinda my Cliff Notes Lego
Year and a
journey,
half later.
And
and,
it and it ended with SC Bricks again. So it started off
and
with
and
you
it ended with SE
being
Bricks.
pissed off about now yeah, you couldn't build your damn bricks, and, it showed up in the picture, that you had your Lego game face on early on. You were like, I am focused." Yeah, I'll tell you something, one other thing, just to add to it, one of the things as I've gotten older, and I'll just say this one thing about Lego as a stress reliever and the ability for you to have something to go to that is healthy and gives you a chance to focus on something other than the world, and you have to think and you have to be creative and you have to use your um, creative juices to figure out what the heck to build, and that also gives people space, emotionally and mentally.
Yeah,
So I add that to the mix because over time, as life has gone on and we all have events that may give us challenges, it is important to sometimes step away and having a set that you can just build and for the next hour and a half you're not going to do anything else other than that set. That's pretty cool. It gives you a space, and I think that's valuable in today's world. So
mhm.
that was also another
I'm
thing I wanted to add.
Yeah, to piggyback off that, I'm gonna word it a little bit differently, but it's one of the things I believe in my daily life and in Lego, and Lego just complements it and exponentially improves it, or improves upon it, is the concept of mindlessness. And
Mm,
that sounds bad at first, but what I mean is it's something that, like, you can just let go and you don't have to think about anything
Yep.
yes.
other than what is
I like
directly in
that.
front of you.
Yeah.
So, being mindless, and it's I try and live my life in a very zen approach. What are if a duck's back? Just let it go.
Be like
And
water.
Lego, exactly, and Lego
Mhm.
complements that beautifully. You just sit down in your office and you build, and just the world melts away, and what's happening is you're processing things on the back end that you never thought you would be processing.
Yep.
You're not thinking about it, you're mindless, you're only focused on the one task at
It's what
hand,
I
and
like to
everything
call
else is processing on the
disconnecting.
back. Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
another good word.
exactly.
Yeah.
My wife sees moments in me, as chill as I am. We'll be on the couch, and I love spending time with my wife. She's my favorite person in the entire world. I'll
Mhm.
be sitting on the couch, and in my conscious mind, I will be sitting there going, "I'm enjoying my time with my wife. I just wanna sit here and watch this show." And she picks up on some body language about me that I don't even pick up on, and she'll look at me and be like, "Do you need office time?" And I'm like, we call it my office time.
Love it.
And I'm like, "No, no, no, I'm fine. I'm here. I'm enjoying this. I wanna
You
be
need
with
some
you."
office time.
And then a few minutes will go past, and she'll go, "You need some office time." And I will look at her and go, "Yeah, I could
Now
probably
that
take
you
some
put it
office
in my
time."
head, yes.
Yeah, now that you made me think about it, right? Like, I wasn't thinking about it, but now I
Yeah.
am. Yes.
So what
I
I'm
love
saying
that.
is I don't know if my wife really, really knows me or just wants to get rid of me, one or the other.
She knows what
It
to
could be
do
both.
when she needs her
Yeah.
alone time. She says, "You need some office time."
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll just say it for myself. My spouse gets a lot of credit for all the Lego that she puts up with, right? And so
Right.
because it is a big part of your life, when you're an AFOL and you are part of a community and you're doing all the things that you can do, right? Because we talked about earlier, there's all different levels of AFOL, right? From the
I
from
mean,
the,
she
the
gave up
beginning to
her
the end.
parking
And
spot in the garage for your Lego.
she did. I know. Let's not talk about that. More space, Kip. I need more space. But
Uh,
yeah, I think it's funny because as we've gotten to know each other and we've gotten to kind of have other experiences at these events that we've gone to, and we're doing some interviews of people and just kind of things that we're doing together. That word AFOL just has more and more of a encompassing meaning. Like now, it's almost like that. I'm not going to because I don't have any tattoos on me, but it's like I could represent an AFOL tattoo proudly because it is something. It's not just a word to describe someone who likes Lego. It also encompasses all of the things that we've been talking about on this podcast. So I think AFOL is where it's at. Would you agree?
A fall.
Yeah,
Can we chant it?
I would
AFOL,
agree.
AFOL. Not to get too
It's,
emotional or anything, but
it's one of those rare terms, though, because I'm not one that tends to enjoy attaching terms to who I am, like, from a work perspective, we always talk about, when someone asks you, "What do you do?" You immediately jump to your job. That's
Mhm.
the default. You know, in my mind, you always should jump to what you're passionate about because that's what you do. It's not
Yeah.
how you make your money. It's what you're passionate about is what you do. So defining who you are based on titles, I've always been very hesitant about, but AFOL is one of those that it encompasses so much meaning and purpose and so many different aspects of my personality and just life in general that it's a term I'm good with.
Yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
all good with AFOL, you
Yeah,
know?
agreed. And it's like another way of saying it's a "if you know" phrase. And so,
Exactly.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I like that about it too. It's code. It's total code, and
Yeah.
behind it is this world because it's funny, I've been to, when we were recruiting members with SC Bricks in the beginning, we would go to any Lego store opening or any Lego, like, event, a release or something where there'd be a line at the Lego store, and there would be parents with their kids, and there'd be, adults standing there, and I would literally just walk down the row and go, "AFOL? AFOL? Are there any AFOLs out there?" And people would look at me and be like, "I'm an AFOL," and I would hand them our card and be like, "Here, this is
You
us."
know, John, I think I actually remember you doing that at a couple of the first events that I went to where
Yeah, it was the code
where the
word.
group was involved with it.
That is
Yeah.
that is a beautiful story for everyone to hear, but especially our SC Bricks community if they have not heard that before, because that's new to me, and I love that. You know,
That's
that
my
is
recruiting
both
tactic.
that is, like, equally the most effective and creepy way to recruit somebody to an organization.
Just throwing code words out. FBI,
It's
FBI.
yeah.
Just throwing
So,
random code
like
words out and connecting with people. Like,
yeah,
"Yes,
yeah.
I am
Like
that
me,
person
if it was me
your
in
ears
that
would have
line,
perked." Yeah.
I would sit there and I would have perked and be like, "I know, but do I trust?"
It's funny, the Pick a Brick has been, a happy place for SC Bricks 'cause, so many of us have met literally at the Pick a Brick wall, just randomly stuffing cups, and then they're all of a sudden, they're a member and they're part of our world.
Because
So it's
if you're
funny
an
how that
AFOL,
place has been
you
a
know
Dude
about
hotspot.
the pick-a-brick wall. If you know,
That's
you
right.
know.
dude,
Yeah. I
Kip and I, almost every single time we go to the Lego store, we, for lack of better phrasing, double team somebody at the pick a brick wall
Yes, we do.
Mhm.
If there's an
and talk about
unfamiliar face
SC
if there's an unfamiliar face
Yeah,
and somebody's picking a cup up or now a box,
yeah.
it's, "Hey, what are you
That's
up to?
like
What you building?"
that's that's the telltale sign, man. If somebody is specifically if you are packing a cup/box, not
Yeah.
just putting
We've
parts
done
in
this
it, if you are
before.
packing it, you are an AFOL and
Mhm.
need to have a conversation, you know?
Why aren't you part of our group?
"Do you
Right?
know
That's
about
my
this
next line.
community?"
It's funny because it does feel like you're inviting people into a safe space
Mhm.
because you're with others, right? They may not know
Yeah,
that space exists. They may not know that there's even an AFOL community out there, and that's part of it is when they find it and, like us, a lug here in South Carolina Bricks, it's like that that entity, that community, um, is is really the next level, right, of AFOL.
mhm,
So it's the lug, right? So I guess that would be the next natural acronym is from AFOL to lug, right?
Yep.
mhm.
And from individual to community. So we're there. AFOL,
And
AFOL.
it is a powerful community.
All
The
caps.
things in my yeah, the things in my short time a part of SC Bricks in this lug that I've seen are just astounding, and it's absolutely incredible, man.
Love it.
To see, and the most important thing is the community. No one's alone. No one's in it for themselves. Everyone's there to support each other. And that is a beautiful thing that gets rarer and rarer in this world.
Mhm.
And Lego unites, man. People just need to pick up bricks. Pick up a 2 by 4 and build it with your neighbor and we'll create world peace. I'm
That's
serious.
right.
That's true. If everyone built a brick set together, we'd be a better off place. Just help each other out. Go through the instructions, put the bricks together, feel the click, get into it. It'll make a
Right?
happier place.
Yep.
That's awesome.
It really does. But with that said, we are a very open and welcome community, but get out of here with your mega blocks.
Actually, wait. We do have some of
Right.
our members who do use some off-brand stuff, and some of it
Well,
is actually
yeah,
really cool. So
it's true.
that can be another discussion for another time.
I I
Well, you know what?
I jest.
I just
I know.
yeah, there are other things that Lego doesn't make, like in any hobby, right? There's the edges, and so
It's
Lego
true.
doesn't make everything. So,
Well,
but
that
yeah.
kinda ties in well, that kinda ties in with the fun part about the community, though, is
Mhm.
even though, the Mega Bloks thing, complete joke, but Lego inspired
Right,
everything. I mean, Mega Bloks doesn't exist without
right.
Lego, you
Mhm.
know? There are entire companies that produce custom parts that Lego won't make. There's an entire community of the community of AFOLs that do war. It's another combination of war
Hey,
reenactments.
if there
Mhm.
wasn't Lego,
It's
I
true.
would have
You
only
know,
been playing with Lincoln Logs. So I am so happy for Lego.
dude, I love. Don't
But
get,
don't get me
dude, I
wrong with
love
some
me
Lincoln
some.
Logs though.
I'll mess up some Lincoln Logs and some Tinker Toys, man. I'll. That's another childhood story about how me and my dad built an entire Tinker Toy cage around my dog while he slept.
Oh,
That's
that's
hilarious.
He
impressive.
woke up. We wouldn't say a word. We would just hold up parts to each other and built a
Oh,
whole
that's
cage
crafty.
around him.
I like that.
And the dog woke up. We screwed with him so much. The dog woke up, looked around, was very confused for a moment, and just laid there like, I guess this is my life now.
I'm caged for here
Yeah,
forever.
yeah, cool.
As long as
All
you
right.
feed me.
This is a weird dream.
This is a very weird dream. Yeah. Anyway, well, gentlemen, AFOL means so much to me. This community means so much to me. The fact that we're doing this show, this podcast, and we're doing it for everybody. So, like we said earlier, we want community involvement. We want to hear from SC Bricks. We want to hear from any other lug or AFOL community out there or individual person. This is for you. This is for adults. This is for children. This is for anybody who is passionate about Lego and the creative medium that it can provide. So we want to hear from you guys. The intention for this podcast is to do interviews with members of our community and showcase the talents that are within the Lego community and SC Bricks in particular, but not exclusively. Um, and just tell your story. That's what we want to do. Throughout this podcast, you'll hear from myself, you'll hear from John, you'll hear from Kipp. You'll learn way more than you wanted to about
Oh
us, I'm
yes.
sure. You'll get
Yeah.
really tired of hearing
I
hearing
hope you like us because you're gonna
yeah,
just hear a
yeah.
bunch about us too.
Yeah, you'll get sick of Eric's bathtub stories, but um but you'll learn a lot about us, but we want to learn a lot about you, and we want to showcase your talents and abilities within the community. So let us know. If you've got a topic we want to you want to hear our take on, let us know. If you have a story you want to tell, let us know. This podcast is for the community. So,
Absolutely.
John, Kip, I don't want to speak all. Say your piece.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, hey, Eric, I just to and Kip, sorry, Kip, never leave you out. Um, so my feeling is here, guys, we're tapping into a vein here that we'd like to be able to help people feel excited about the hobby, and we're gonna share the community's love of Lego with you guys. So to Eric's point, we're gonna give you members, we're gonna do road shows, we're gonna do whatever we can to create an environment where you can learn about Lego, and so I'm looking forward to going on this journey with you and hopefully you all will have a good time along the way. So that's that's it from me. Lego Garage.
For me, yeah,
Maestro has it.
I'm just looking forward to see what we've got coming up with all of our great people in our group. So I know we've had a chance to talk to some of them already at some of the shows we've already been going crazy with. Uh, that's kind of like a little teaser for some upcoming stuff. But we've had
Oh
some
yeah.
great conversations with some of our members already and can't wait to see what else we can talk about with the rest of them and some of the same ones again. So
To reiterate, this podcast is going to take many forms over the entire life cycle of it, however long it may be, which we hope it be a long and fruitful one. But there's gonna be live options. There's gonna be in-person options. Interviews, the works, man. We want to do this for you. So let us know what you want. Tell us in the comments. Tell us in the comments what AFOL means to you, what your definitive AFOL is, whether or not you identify as an AFOL, whether or not you're a member of a community. And if not, SC Bricks is available. Shameless plug. Uh,
John, you didn't even have to do that
um,
one. You've taught him well.
That was good,
You've
Eric.
taught him
Way
well.
to
hey,
yep.
Young
hey,
Good
Padawan.
job.
if
Keep it up.
you want a company shill, I'm
Hey
your
Paul.
Huckleberry. Uh,
Hey Paul.
Hey,
That's the
Fa.
call. Hey Paul.
there we go. But no, and as a slight tease for a potential upcoming episode that may or may not be out of this world.
Ooh.
Oh, huh? Yeah, I
Complete
can't wait.
tease, not
Yeah.
reveal in the slightest. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to
Can I
do
say
this.
it the first episode? Can I say
Oh,
it? Tell me when. Tell me when. You
yes,
tell me when.
yes,
Can I say it?
yes, you can. Yes. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, breaks down.
Breaks down.
There we go. Bricks down.
Breaks down.